Hey there, Noodles. I hope y'all are having a great day today. Today we are tearing out the bottom floor of this massive base, village, whatever this is going to be. All to think that this whole concept and this whole idea for this whole base started in this one room right here, when I saw this random kind of square-like entrance from before at the very beginning of this. I first discovered this map. And this is just a blank dirt wall here, and I dug all this out to make room for this immaculate village that has gone nowhere so far. But that is okay, because that is why we are here today, to change that. We are going to start actually making progress onto, we're gonna, there's my music, I was wondering where that is. We're gonna be digging this boy out today. The reason I'm going down one more level on this ground is because I just naturally ended up down one more level over there, and I just want to make it all the same, and it's gonna really bother my ADHD or OCD or just my Minecraft brain that it's not all the same level if I don't make it all the same level. So that's what we're doing. Thank you for coming along with this journey. I have noticed that a couple more villagers are starting to spawn down here. I don't know if they're spawning or just walking down here and getting stuck, but they're on this bottom floor not moving, which isn't the worst. I'm going to have like a secondary village area down here where I can trade with them down here and potentially have minecarts and stuff for them to run to and fro from it, and hopefully set up some type of iron mine or something down here with golems respawning and everything. But we'll see how that works. I don't know if now that they are changing or have changed like how spawn chunks work in Minecraft, if that's gonna change how iron golem farms work. But it might, unfortunately, and that's okay, because I'm sure someone was gonna find another way to make another type of farm that's even better, because that's usually what happens in Minecraft. Just like in real life, you know, when things aren't might not be going perfect in your life, you know, or new things happen, or new changes come in, or new opportunities show themselves, it's really good to sometimes just take a step back and realize, hey, this ain't the end of the world. New things are gonna happen, and change isn't necessarily bad. Change is a good thing most of the time. Sometimes it's, you know, I would never say change is a bad thing. Like, change is just a part of life. It's not really good all entirely or bad in all its entirety. But it's part of growing and part of life. And if you're not willing to, I guess the word is adapt and move with the flow of life, you will not move forward with the flow of life. You will just stay stuck where you once were. And that's a scary place to be, because, you know, I've lived that life. I've done that before personally. Whether it be staying in a relationship or friendship or family situationship or living situation or a situationship with another friend or something like that. I've stayed in one of those way too long. Like, sometimes you gotta realize that, like, where you're comfortable is not where you're meant to be, and you can't grow where you're comfortable. And so if you're uncomfortable, it can really push you to grow. And, you know, that's a good thing. And that's where you really gotta just put your head down and really focus on the things that are making you uncomfortable. Because focusing on those things is what gets you to a place where you not necessarily can get comfortable again, because that's not really something I would say necessarily is the goal, is to strive for being comfortable. The goal is to strive for greatness and, sorry man, I didn't mean to punch you, and you know, bettering your life. And if bettering your life is comfort, then, and that's one of your goals, then go for it, you know. But what I'm mainly trying to say is, like, you know, some crazy things have happened these past couple months since I decided to start uploading on the regular on this YouTube channel. Bro, can you get out of my way? Thank you, sir. hasn't been a full 120 days yet, since I started uploading on the regular. I think one of my original goals was to upload 120 days straight, and I definitely have not hit that goal. I've missed it by quite a large margin. I have probably uploaded once a week on average, or maybe twice or 3 times a week on average. My upload has been very inconsistent, and that's not okay. I want to start uploading once a day again. Um, Last week was a really rough and very depressing week. I didn't upload much. I don't think I even uploaded at all. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look. But my concussion was pretty much not wearing off, but like doing its worst to me that it could last week. But I am feeling decently okay today. This past weekend was also rough due to everything that happened with my current living situation and my partner that I'm currently still living with, or ex-partner, I should say. But being single again really has, you know, it's pushed me, and it's grown. I would say it's pushed me in a positive way, and it's pushed me to be, you know, it's hard. Life changes are, but that doesn't mean that you should stop or should even consider giving up on yourself, because I don't think you should. Because even though shit's hard and shit doesn't make sense maybe right now in life, like it doesn't for me, a lot of things don't make sense, a lot of things aren't working out how I imagined they would. And unfortunately, that is part of life. And I had a good friend tell me recently, like, I have to remember the exact quote, but he said something to the effect of, if you're not willing to accept the change, then that change is either way, whether you're willing to accept the change or not, that change is willing to accept you. It's gonna make it, like, you can't control fate, bro. Like, you just can't control fate. And as unfortunate as it is, sometimes the fate that you wish you could control and the memories or the plans in the future that you did have might not fully come to pass, even though, you know, you did everything in your best effort to make them come to pass. And that doesn't mean that you're a bad person. Doesn't mean that you're a failure. Doesn't really, you know, say too much about you as a person or as a character, I would say, unless you had something very directly to like everyone has influence and direct influence on their lives. No one's like what do you call, not except for very specific instances, not many humans are not responsible for their own lives. And so for the majority of us that are responsible for our own lives, like I personally have trouble taking accountability for my personal actions and how they affect others. And I also have trouble taking accountability, or not taking account, accepting others' decisions and living with the fact that I can't control them and I can't change other people's decisions. I think I'm not too sure why I'm that way. I want to change into a more positive way than I have been for years probably as an adult. And this is part of that growth, part of that journey I'm going through right now of growing and learning and trying new things. And part of that journey is, you know, making mistakes and watching others that you are nearby and close to make mistakes and make decisions that, you know, affect them and you and everyone else around them in positive and negative ways. And I think a good portion of life is just about taking a step back after like a big change like this maybe has happened in your life, and realizing that, you know, this shit isn't the end. You know, that just like, you know, a year ago, you didn't expect to be where you are today. Just like, you know, probably 2, 3, 4, or 5 years ago, or even 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, guaranteed almost for majority of us 20 years ago, we are not the same person we are today. We're not in the same place we are um, that we were or thought we would be 20, 10, 5, even 1 year ago. You know what I mean? I thought I would be in a completely different place right now. I thought I would be working a completely different style of job than I'm working, and I'm not, and that's okay. Um, but but what I'm trying to say is like, it's that change that so many of us are afraid of. Um, that it's a scary thing. Like change is a scary thing. It's not something that a lot of people like. Some people are really good with change, and some people are really bad with it. Um, some people have experienced change their entire life. Some people have only, you know, made significant changes once or twice. Some people, in the same way, some people grow up and live in the same town their entire life, never leave, never travel, never go to a different country, never leave the city that they were born in. I have friends that had been born in Colorado and have never left the state of Colorado for more than like a year. And that's crazy to me because I'm someone who has adventured all over the United States and traveled all over and traveled to the UK and out of the country, other places to other countries, and experienced the world and stuff. And just, yes, I didn't know what I was doing. Yes, I was being a dumb kid 90% of the time with my money, traveling around doing stuff like that. But at the same time, I was, learning and trying new things and taking chances on uh, new experiences. And I don't know what that part of me that has, I feel like part of me that used to do all that and had that wanderlust for traveling and finding new places and new people and new things is part of that. I think has been damaged or hurt or isn't as interested in doing that same amount, maybe not to the same extent, um, to this that I used to want to do it, but there's still that part of me that does want to um, go and experience more of the world and do things more than I have ever even dreamed of doing. Um, but looking back on how this year has gone so far for me, um, it's really just shown me that I need to take several steps back and really just focus on me and care about myself again. Um, More so than I ever have for the whole almost 30 years of life that I've spent on this planet. A lot of hard things have happened, but at the same time, a lot of good things have happened, and I think a lot of good things will continue to happen. Um, as long as, I don't give up. I never imagined that today I'd wake up and my most watched YouTube video now has 500 views. That's crazy to me. And if you watch that video and you're watching this one, you're crazy, number one. Number two, thank you. Join the club. I really appreciate you. You have no clue how much that means to me. But for real, y'all, like, anything can happen. You just can't give up. But at the same time, you can't just rely solely on others for support and for motivation and for to you can't fully rely on others for um, encouragement, I would say, or even what you call I guess I've said pretty much everything, like encouragement. Like you can't you gotta believe in yourself, bro. And if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to. And you gotta tell other people that you believe in yourself. Because if you're just kind of wishy-washy about it, and you're not very firm, you're not very much like, yes, this is what's gonna happen. I know this is gonna happen. I know I'm super confident about this. This is how it's gonna work out. You can't predict the future, but at the least you can be positive and motivate yourself and hopefully motivate other people. One of the main things I was really wanting to do with this channel when I first started it out was inspire myself to become the person I want to become, which I don't know what that type of person is. I don't know who that is. I don't know who I am as a human some days, I feel. And I don't know where I fit into this world and into this thing we call society and living on this earth, because I haven't ever really had a community or family even. My entire, probably as long as I've existed, I haven't had a solid family that I know is like mine, and it's like like where I feel comfortable. Something I know I'm never gonna lose. Something I know, no matter what, they got my back. I've just never had that in life. I've never had even like a close friend that stuck with me for a hella amount of years. Um, and I do equate that to mainly like my mental health, and that's something that I gotta address and keep addressing, and it's a daily battle. But it's something also that is very difficult to even think and consider, that potentially the reason people haven't stuck around me in my life is because of me. And I'm the only common factor in my life that there's other people, and not saying that every single one of those people fit this criteria, but there's a lot of people, I will say and admit to, that aren't in my life anymore that used to be. That used to be a massive part of my life. A part of my life that like I didn't think I would ever lose. And I'm sure if you're sitting there listening to this video, you've had similar things happen, and lost similar people to you in your life, or at least maybe not so much lost is the right word, but grown apart, or changed how the relationship was, or friendship was, or just maybe they did die or pass on or something. But like, it's something that we all have to like eventually face, is like change is a normal thing. And I feel sometimes, like, especially me, I have the habit of getting into relationships and going all in on the other person and leaving not enough for myself to still be a sustainable human being and still be able to be kind to myself while also being kind to someone else. I have a tendency to give everything 150% to someone else and leave negatory amount for myself. And that's not healthy, guys. Like I don't know how else to say it, but like I feel like I need to normalize being selfish, and by that I mean you need to normalize believing in yourself even when no one else does. Like you got to normalize, like you got to be selfish about certain things, and it's okay to be selfish about certain things. Like a lot of people, like when they hear the word, oh, that person's just selfish, or they did a selfish act, a lot of people think of that as a negatory thing, and it can be. Um, Especially if it's someone's doing something like malicious to hurt someone else, or just you know, only looking out for themselves in a situation when they have the opportunity or the right to look out for someone else, because that's just like where they're at in life. And that's the other thing, like you can't control people, bro. That's one thing that I've really learned this past couple days and couple weeks, and even honestly in the past year, it's really been something that's been reminded to me over and over, and it's something that unfortunately, it's something I've struggled with my entire life, is to remind myself that I can't control people. I grew up in a very, very, very toxic environment, I would say. Um, Both my parents are very controlling, very, unfortunately, abusive in certain ways. And I know I still have trauma from that, and I realize that taking some of that trauma, like no matter what, no relationship, friendship you have in life, like you're always going to bring that type of stuff with you. Um, but it's how you bring that stuff with you, and how you handle it, and how you don't, or you do let it affect the other people around you in life. And if you let it affect other people in life, in a negatory way, it can lead to problems in a relationship or lead to problems in a lot of things. Why does that do that? That's weird. All right. But yeah, like I don't know, guys. Like I've been rambling here for quite a while. I don't really know. Hope hope you guys have enjoyed. I guess. I do appreciate it. You guys have stuck around. Thank you for the first 500 view video. That was a really nice surprise to wake up to today. Kind of made my day, honestly, and that was really kind of cool. Something I never expected to ever happen in a thousand years from now. I mean, I did have hopes. I won't lie. That I would eventually one day get a video with at least 500 views, or some type of views at all. But I didn't think it was gonna be so soon, and I'm really proud of that for myself. And it's not even one of my favorite videos. I don't even honestly remember what the video was really about. I probably should go back and watch it myself to see how I can make it a little bit better for the viewing experience for y'all. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Thank you just for everything. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for hanging out at this channel. You could be anywhere else right now. I understand that. Anyone could be. And the fact that you decided to spend even 1 minute of your time just, with me mumbling on in the background and you sitting there wondering what the fuck this guy's talking about anymore. It means the world to me.